Hello, all you beautiful people. I hope your day is going fantastic. If you're new, welcome. Or if you are just, stopping by and are regular, thank you for clicking on the video. Just in case, I'm Nash. And today, guys, we will be talking about a band called the Growlers. And we'll actually be talking about their album, Chinese Fountain. So, let me just give you some history about the band. The Growlers are an American band from Southern California. They began their career in Orange County, formed in 2006. The band would have many members come and go, but the members from this album itself are Brooks Nielsen, the vocals. We have Matt Taylor, the lead guitar. We have Scott Montoya on drums, Anthony Perry on bass, and Kyle Stricka, I hope I pronounced that correctly, on keyboards and guitar. Later in the band's history, they would be actually kind of credited with making their own kind of genre, and this genre would be called beach goth. They have almost 2 million listeners on Spotify as of right now. So let's actually get into the album itself, The Chinese Fountain. This is I believe, the 4th album that they have made, I think, or the 3rd. I'll have to double check with my Google. And it was released on September 23rd, 2014. Many saw this album as being a more grown up from their original and other songs that they have done, and more polished as well. There are 11 songs on the album, making the time about 38 minutes and 49 seconds, so you could definitely get it done in one day, or, please take your time on it. I always want you guys to really understand and enjoy the music itself. So let me read you off some of all the songs that are on the album. We have Big Toe, Black Memories, Chinese Fountain, Dull Boy, Good Advice, Going Gets Tough, Magnificent Sadness, Love Test, Not the Man, Rare Hearts, and Purgatory Drive. So let's just begin with the first song, Big Toe. It starts with Nielsen saying, "I'm a dealer with an infinite tab, a gentleman in some of a sense." Right now, he's kind of thinking of himself as a good person. Later in the story, he talks about how this woman is kind of being toxic against him. Best way to really say it. He feels like he is being used and he is not happy in the relationship itself. So we can really say that this album is beginning on a kind of like a rocky relationship. And you can kind of see the beginning of the end here. He says, "You got me looking around in the Forbidden City." Now, I actually really love this reference in the song. If some of you don't know, the Forbidden City is a palace in China. It was established by the Ming Dynasty. It was forbidden to enter the palace unless you were invited or dismissed by the emperor himself. So you could kind of think of the storyteller telling us that he feels like in this relationship he is trapped and he's not going to be able to escape. So now we will go to Black Memories, which is the second song on the album. The very first verse really draws you in. He says, "Pretending it will get better when you're not around. Finally free, but I'm lying to me. Searching for those black memories." He then kind of goes into to show my heart what I mean. So he is referring to black memories as memories that he finds to be the worst of the worst. It seems like now he has finally been able to get away from this relationship, but he still feels stuck. He still thinks that maybe he needs her, even though of all these bad things that she has done to him. And I think now he's just trying to convince himself that the relationship is done and he does indeed have this new freedom to explore. Next song is the title of the album, The Chinese Fountain. And actually, there's a fun fact I want to say about this one. The first line is, "He drops his quarters in a Chinese fountain, a whole bunch of wishes unanswered, but who's counting? Now, the lead singer, Brooks Nielsen, he was actually a fountain cleaner before he began doing the Growlers. And I thought that was just a really interesting fact when I found it. So I just wanted to let you all guys know that. Now, he talks really about in this how people wish for many things. And that could be going from health, wealth, and love. And how nowadays people kind of jump the gun on it. They go too fast and they want it immediately, though they should know to take their time and actually earn it, to say. There's actually a really fun line that he says. It's a reference to John Lennon from the Beatles. He says, the internet is bigger than Jesus and John Lennon. Now, if you don't know, back in the 60s when the Beatles were popular, and at their peak, during an interview, John Lennon gave the interview where he was talking about how he thinks that the Beatles are bigger than Jesus. And many people did not find that amusing when he said that. And that was kind of the little fall down for the Beatles itself. I just thought that was really interesting when he said it. It kind of caught me off guard when I first heard it. But I think it's definitely one of the best songs on the album, Chinese Fountain. Now let's go to the next one, Doughboy. Doughboy really kind of just, to when I understand it, it kind of seems like he's talking about his city, the place where he grew up, and how when he was younger, it seemed more beautiful, it seemed more vibrant, it seemed like, some place that you really want to go live. But now it seems more like how can I pronounce it? More like it's been used too much. It's been drained of all of its resources, and now he has to decide whether to let it all go or stay and fall with his hometown. Next song is Good Advice. This is the part of the story where he is in need of help, but he's overthinking everything. And he's overthinking that he's actually underthinking. That's a little tongue twister right there. When people try to go help him and give him the advice that he needs, he feels offended by it. He feels like he doesn't need their advice because he doesn't want people to tell him how to live his life. But he doesn't really think of it as these people are just helping him. He thinks of it like they're trying to, change him how his past relationship had changed him before. But he doesn't want that. Even though the people that are trying to help him could have most likely gone through something that similar to that he has. Going Gets Tough. This is my least favorite song from the album. It doesn't really connect to me. The part I love about it is the drums in it. Though I might be wrong on all of this. It was their number one song for a while. So I give it that. And there's a fun fact, actually. They wrote this song because their studio that they recorded in caught fire and burnt down while they were making this album. So, fun fact. The next song on the album is Magnificent Sadness. It starts with the narrator telling us that ain't a home, it's a furnace in need of some matches. I can't believe how long you lived with magnificent sadness. This can mean a lot of things, but I take it as a kid who lived in a home and where he didn't really have a childhood, or they didn't really have a childhood. And the singer is shocked that this person from a young age has been dealing with this sadness. Multiple times in the song, he says, never too young to feel, it takes a while to heal. To me, this kind of shows how, really, from a young age, you could have very strong emotions. And as, you grow up into your teenage years, many adults, many people just kind of think that this would all go away, they'll be fine, this is just how they're going to be acting for a bit. And they really kind of just, push it away from everyone. They kind of dismiss it, that's the word I'm looking for. Now, it would be hard, at near the ending, he says it would be hard to really grow. So I think of that as a way of saying how if a kid was born and raised on the idea of like, this is how life is, and like always in that sad kind of mood, it would then go to them being always sad, and it actually be really harder for them to accept that they can be happy and they can try becoming a better person from it. Now, the next song is called Love Test. Now, Love Test, I see it as the singer finally moving on from his past relationship and trying to find a new one. But he is struggling because he doesn't want to be used again. He says, the city moves too fast to appreciate all the time it takes for sweet loving. Referring to how nowadays people move quite quickly in a relationship. It could really also show how like they go through the stages of a relationship so quickly. By the time the relationship is at a slowdown, they kind of have lost that what they had before. And you know, if you don't really take care of the word love and understand it and really like get to know what it is to you, then you really won't have some kind of beautiful meaning to it. Next song is Not the Man. Not the Man goes more into the narrator thinking about himself and the people around him, mostly his friends. Now they have been there for him for everything, and how they are also suffering from things. He then asks himself the question, when my friends are no longer around, reality won't hold me. All of my buddies feel run down. I'm not the man I used to be. If his friends are not there for him, then he is on his own, and no one will be there to help him. All of his friends are tired, and they have been overworked by him. And by the end, he realizes that everything that he has done to then make his friends feel overworked and tired are all because of him now. And how if maybe he just didn't do something wrong in life earlier, as an example, like that relationship, then maybe things would have been different. And he is definitely not the man he was, but more of a outer shell of what he used to be. Next song, Rare Hearts. Now, the story goes to him actually finding love. He loves her so much that it doesn't matter where they are. In the beginning, he says it could be under an old oak tree or over a cannon so wide. He then looks into her eyes and he is focused on her. So much that it could also mean he's starting to go blind by this new love. And he also says, she stopped my world from spinning. So this really shows how him finding this new relationship has actually made him better in a way. But I think in the story itself, he's gonna start to kind of be trying to keep it going. Example of this is that he then says, he says, let's see here. He says, now in case this is just a dream, I'll let my tired eyes loose. Lord help me flow downstream, sliding down the river of fools. So to him, this is some kind of dream, and he can't actually grasp it that this is actually real life. So he wants to keep it in this dreamlike state where he's able to really feel like himself and feel happy. The only problem I have with this song is it definitely repeats itself a lot in the saying like Rare Hearts. Actually, I have it up right here. He really repeats the saying, is this just a dream? I'll read it right here. Is it too much to dream that we can forever be rare hearts that never disagree? That's the only line. It repeats itself a lot, but I still enjoy the song, so really nice. The last song of the album is Purgatory Drive. The last song in the album really kind of is more of a sad ending. As Nielsen tells the story of what happens after the new relationship had ended. So now the narrator is no longer singing. It's now Brooks Nielsen bringing the song to an end. He talks about how in the song he is going on a drive and he can't get rid of her in his mind unless he has a little mixture, speaking of alcohol or abuse of a substance. He then goes into how her memory won't fade. I actually think of this in two ways. Either the new relationship had ended poorly and how he's gone back into that sad idea, or he's still focused on the original relationship from before and he actually never really let go of it. There's a couple ways to look at that, really, but those are the two that I really see it as. And at the ending, he says he will be going on this lonely sunset drive. And he really kind of feels unfulfilled. It feels like he's lost now. So he's willing to drive and just keep on going until he actually stops it to find something. Now, the Growlers, they have this sound to them. Brooks Nielsen, he has this more kind of raspy voice. That's because when he was younger, he actually smoked quite a lot. But, don't let that stop you from enjoying the band and the song itself. Please do not smoke as a young kid. Don't do it. Or drink. That's bad. I'm looking at you. Don't do it. Now, we go to Matt Taylor on the lead guitar, Scott Montoya on drums, Anthony Perry on bass, and Kyle Streka, I hope I pronounced that correct, on keyboards and guitar. All of them sound quite amazing by itself. Like, you could look on YouTube and hear all the different parts by itself. It's definitely when you put it all together that the band makes something beautiful, something that really catches the eye, to say. They definitely all work well together, all the band members, and I'm quite impressed by this album. So this album, the song that takes it away for me, guys, would be Rare Hearts. Though I still have a problem with it repeating a little too much, I think it's still a great song. So please, if there's any song I want you guys to listen to on this album, it would be Rare Hearts. But hey, don't let me stop you guys. You can listen to all of them are excellent songs on their own. But to me, the one that steals the show is Rare Hearts. So please go listen to it, guys. I am assuring you that this band is quite a good one. And they really have something to them. Right now, they are on a hiatus. They haven't released any new songs since 2019. The last time they went on tour was in 2020 before the pandemic, and they are kind of just, MIA right now. They all kind of like to keep their private life private for many things, and I can respect that for them. They all have families and kids and wives, so definitely a great album. So please go listen to it, guys. And that's it for today, really. Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening to me. I really appreciate it. I hope your day goes great and it keeps getting better. If you want me to go over any other album, please let me know. I would happily give it a listen. And yeah, that's really it, guys. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you all later.